Hi everybody, this is Oksana. I hope you're all staying safe during this difficult time in our world with all the quarantines and the coronavirus happening. And today I'm going to show you how to make this moon pendant. I'm calling it the butterfly moon because I think this looks like a butterfly. And it hangs like this. It uses only one piece of wire. So if you want to see how to make this pendant, I think it looks kind of neat from the back too, just keep watching. So we're going to be starting with this 18 gauge round wire, and all you can really see is the 18 gauge. This sticker has completely been destroyed, but it's riogrande.com. That's the website that I got it from. It used to be a nice big spool, but I've had this wire for a really long time. It's not too often that I really get to use it because it's just a real thick kind of wire. I usually would use 20 gauge, but this is 18 gauge, and that's really key for this piece. You definitely want a thicker wire or your bail portion is going to be real floppy. So what I'm going to do is cut myself a nice long piece, probably, just thinking here, you know what, let's just be safe and make it 20 inches, which is probably too long, but that's better than running out of wire halfway through this project. So what I'm gonna do now is kind of, I know it's hard to see, it's so long, but I'm just folding it almost in half just to find the middle of it there. So that's the middle. And now I'm going to use my fingers to shape the middle, and I'll show you in 1 second the goal here. So the shape that you want is just a nice half round shape that, if you hold your moon up to it, basically like goes into the points of your moon like this, you know. So if it's too small, then it'll just be like that. That's not good. If it's too big, your moon will fit through it. So you want it to just kind of be right where the points of your moon are, like this. And once you have that correct shape, I made mine bigger just now when I was playing around with it. There we go. When you have that correct shape, what you can do is you can grab a marker, maybe like a permanent marker, and just draw like a dot. It can be on the back where these little points end, so that when you take the moon off, you know the top part that sticks out above the moon, because some of this is behind the moon. So once you've decided that, you're going to take an iron block and you're going to place this, and you are going to hammer the part that is above the little marks that you made. Okay, the below part, I mean, it's okay if it gets slightly hammered just in the process as you're doing this. You accidentally, miss and hammer too far down. That's fine, but just really focus on the top. And what you're going to do first is you're just going to flatten it down with the flat part of your chasing hammer. So I'm going to do that off camera real quick. All right, so I hammered it. You can see it's looking flatter here at the top. What you want to do now's a good time to check that it didn't lose its shape and that it still fits your moon nicely. Sometimes when you hammer, you can accidentally, misshape it. So what you're going to do next is you're going to go to that same area there that you hammered flat, and you're going to take the round part of your chasing hammer, and you're just going to hammer it. I'm going to do it off camera again so it's not super loud for you guys, but just going to hammer it everywhere, and it's going to give it a nice texture there. All right, so now it's got that nice texture to it, and you really do kind of need to hammer at least the flatten it part. You don't have to do the texture if you don't want to, but at least hammer it flat because it really strengthens the wire. And the key to this pendant is you don't want a floppy, thin wire here that your necklace is going to connect to. And that's another reason that we used such a thick wire. We used an 18 gauge wire. All right, so now just put your moon on it in the right position. And then what you can do is you can use a little bit of tape. Put some tape around here to hold it in place if you find that it's a little bit too slippery. But I'm just gonna kind of bear with it. So I'm pressing with my finger here. So this part is not gonna get moved. It's really from here on because my finger's there. I'm gonna bend it. And then same thing on the other side. Just like that. So you can put your moon down for a second now. We got this bend. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our pliers and we're gonna lift those wires back up like that. All right, and so if you hold your moon to it, let me show you. If you hold your moon, it's just kind of right here. It's not past the stone though. See, it's like on the stone. So from the front, you won't see these little bends. And what you want to do is you want to connect these wires now, these two wires, with some half round wire. So I have my half round wire also from Rio Grande's website. I'm gonna grab just the end of it here. And I'm gonna wrap it around. Just gonna hold it here, my finger, so it doesn't move, and just wrap it around a few times, a little bit more than a few times actually. All right, that should be good. When you're done with that, what you want to do is grab your pliers and press that down flat. And then see where the front is. So the front is where you hammered it for texture. And you want your wire ends to be on the front. So when you're trimming the wire, make sure you leave yourself just a tiny little end, and that it's here on the front where the hammered texture is. And then you squish down that little wire end and it'll be covered. Oh, I trimmed this one too long. See, it kind of sticks out past the edge. So I'm just gonna give it one more little trim there. All right, so our wire ends are here, so they're gonna get covered. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna place our pliers here, right where the wrap begins, and we're gonna bend, make a 90-degree bend. I'm gonna kind of fix this frame a little bit because I think when I hammered it, it got kind of curved, almost has like a curve to it. I want it to be nice and flat. All right. So now the wire, oh, these wires are hitting my camera, sits here. The moon sits on the wire, kind of like a cradle, like this. And the reason we wanted this wrap to be longer than just like 2 or 3 wraps is just so that it can go around the moon here. Otherwise, it would have started to kind of separate out. I'm going to use my pliers a little bit here to make a sharper bend. Just going to check that. Making sure my moon fits into it. Looks like it got a little bit tilted. Okay, making sure it's nice and centered. And what you want to do now, you can take your moon out if you want, since it's still not very stable. We're just going to make some nice round, almost like a butterfly wing kind of design. And this is actually similar. If you watched my other moon video that I did, I also did kind of similar type loops, but that moon was different. That moon was sideways. It's kind of a different style, very different style, but I guess the similarity is the loops. I'm just trying to keep them symmetrical, which is always the trickiest part to these things. All right, so I made 2, just making another one. Like a little butterfly. All right, just like that. Now we're gonna connect these 2 wires again. Here, just right above a little butterfly shape. So just grab your half round wire again and wrap a few times. And make sure that your wire ends, when you are done and you cut them, are on the inside, in there, not here on the front. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. So my wire ends are here on the inside. Okay, what you want to do now is take these 2 wires. You might need to kind of open this up a little bit, and you just start kind of curving them in. The goal is to get them through this without just really misshaping them too much. So just pulling them through gently and carefully, like that. All right, now we need our moon. Put the moon back in, center it nicely. All right, now we're just gonna take these 2 wires and just press them down on the back there to bend them. And now, make sure you grab the right one, put them on there, the side that they go on, and just kind of do a symmetrical thing here where they go like this. All right, I'm just gonna mess around a little bit here, get my moon centered. All right, so now what might be nice is just to make a little loop in these wires. I'm just trying to keep them the same distance. Same distance from that butterfly. Make a little loop, just for decoration. Okay, and now we are going to push this wire through. So I like to just kind of make this loop and then pull to the back. All right, and now we're gonna make this wire go around. So here's kind of our last chance to get this all nice and symmetrical. Because now we're gonna take this wire, we're gonna wrap it around the very tip of our moon here. So it's coming, you know, through here, around the back. Now pull it back through and just have it touch the tip of your wire, of your moon. Just the tip of your moon like that. Okay? just like this. And now it's gonna go across just this metal portion that we hammered, and I'm gonna trim it in such a way that I leave myself just a little tiny end, and I'll show you in a second here by getting a little closer. See that little end that I left myself? Think of this as a loop that's wrapping around that top portion that you hammered, and you want to close that loop up so that the end of the wire is going to touch this wire like that. Can you see that in there? So the end of the wire is not going to come here on the back and poke. It's going to just be like a closed loop situation here. And then same thing with this. And that's how we're going to hide our wire ends. Just like that. All right, and so the way that you would put this on a necklace, a chain or a cord necklace, is you would do a lark's knot. So you take your necklace, you put it through, and then through this hole, you grab the other two ends and you pull them through. You can either do it this way or like put it through this way so then it looks like that. Or like that, whatever you like best. Just pull it tight, and then it'll hang just like this. Or you can make a little bail for it, like a little wire loop, like a jump ring almost, or just something more elaborate. But either way, that's it. That is the butterfly moon pendant, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.